Hello, I'm Dalito Kulameka.
And I'm Jonathan Walden.
And thank you for joining us on today's episode for the Ambassador Sports Network. On today's episode, we will be discussing the Oakwood women's and men's basketball team wins against the Wilberforce Bulldogs. Four-year veteran guard Steven Aroh will be joining us for an in-studio interview later to talk about the men's game. And later, we will be joined by fellow ASN reporter Shane Dunkley to discuss our AFC and NFC Championship game picks. You ready, bro?
Let's get right to it.
What a performance by both the Oakwood men's and women's basketball teams last night.
Yeah, Lee. So let's start off with the girls who have turned their season around and are in the midst of a 5-game winning streak. They started off the game locked in, going up 17-7 at the end of the first quarter, with their biggest lead reaching 15 points early in the second quarter.
Yeah, man. The Lady Ambassadors played stifling defense in that first half, holding Wilberforce to 23% shooting from the field and 12% from behind the arc. However, in the second half, the Lady Ambassadors went through a little bit of a shooting slump that let Wilberforce creep back into the game.
Yeah, Wilberforce caught fire from beyond the arc in the second half, shooting 46% from the three, including 57% in the fourth quarter. But Trenisha Adams, who played game-high 40 minutes, would not let that happen. She hit big shot after big shot, resulting in a 63-60 win to keep the win streak alive.
Yeah, that game was amazing. Trenisha Adams, she was on fire. She finished the game with 20 points, going 5 for 12 from the three-point line, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Freshman star Sanaya Keys, she chipped in with 13 points and 10 rebounds. She's been so consistent all year, a great spark for the team. And Morgan Bone was all over the place. 6 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. This was a great win for the girls team, who will try to extend the win streak and get back to 500 on Monday, January 27th, 5:30 p.m. Central Time, when they travel to Blue Mountain College for their next matchup.
And how about them boys? And I'm not talking about them Cowboys. I'm talking about them Ambassador boys.
How about them Ambassador boys, John? Despite losing the previous 18 games, a few players told me that this game would be different. The vibe around this team felt different. The team had been so close in the previous 2 home games, losing a heartbreaker to Russ College, 70-69, and then losing a close one, 74-83 to UT Southern. They were bound to break through at some point, and I believe that's what we saw tonight.
Yeah, Dali. So seeing the opponents in the warm-ups, I just had a confident feeling that the boys would get their second dub. And the addition of Jordan Green to the starting lineup, what a move by Coach Jacobs that resulted in Jordan Green exploding for 28 points, 10 for 12 from the field, including 3 game-shifting three-pointers in the second half.
What a move that was. He was huge tonight. Both teams started off the first half a little sluggish, but Callie Davis from Wilberforce got hot, hitting 3 threes in the first half and gave the Bulldogs a much-needed spark.
I feel like the 3-ball was the difference maker for both teams in both halves, with Wilberforce shooting 44% in the first half, while Oakwood was shooting 10%, resulting in Oakwood being down 6 points going into the half. And in the second half, the team percentages flipped, with Wilberforce shooting 14% from 3 and Oakwood shooting 42% from 3.
I agree. The game began to get away from Oakwood at the beginning of the second half, with Wilberforce extending the lead all the way up to 12. But boy, did this Ambassador team dig deep. Like we said earlier, Jordan Green caught fire for Oakwood, hitting 3 threes and scoring whenever the offense got stagnant. But here came Callie Davis in crunch time, hitting a big-time step-back 3 to tie the game up at 71 apiece. But he would go on to miss 2 crucial free throws that would have tied the game up at 73 all, and that ended up being the difference for the Ambassadors.
Jordan Green finished the game with a season-high 28 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals. Jordan Bell, boy, has he been good all season. He pitched in with 17 points and 7 rebounds. Jamarcus Alexander didn't have the hot shooting night that he usually does, but he still found ways to stuff the stat sheet, showing his versatility offensively and defensively, finishing with 12 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 block, and 5 game-wrecking steals, in addition to the go-ahead bucket. What an addition him and Jordan Green have been since joining the team in the second half of the season.
Yeah, you could tell this game meant a lot to the players. They were tired of all the losing. They heard all the noise. And now they're ready to build on this and stack some wins. Let's hear what Jordan Green has to say after the game.
I just appreciate my coaches for trusting me, the stuff I work for, I prepare for it, so, I had to show up. We're going to keep doing it, that's all, consistency, you know what I'm saying? Just keep doing it, keep showing up, keep putting in effort, that's all.
The men's basketball team will be looking to complete the sweep next Thursday, January 30th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern when they go to Wilberforce.
And now we'll welcome Steven Aroh, 4-year veteran guard from the Oakwood basketball men's team, in studio for an interview to talk about last night's game. How you doing today, Steve?
I'm good, Lisa. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Good.
And Steve, we went to high school together. I've seen your growth in basketball since then to now. So you're one of the longest tenured players on the team. How does it feel to finally get another win after the team's recent struggles?
Well, you just hit the nail on the head. We've been struggling this whole year, but a lot of our losses and a lot of the games we played, if you've been tuned in, they've been real close. I believe three of the last 4 conference games we had, we lost, I think, by 4 or less. So it just goes to show you, right there, we be there every game. So to finally get a win and get over that hump, it gives a lot of motivation, a lot of momentum going into our next game against the same opponent. So.
Same opponent, yes, sir. And you guys could have just rolled over after being down 12 points early into the second half. What clicks for the team and propelled the comeback?
I want to say that second group with Chase, KP, Bell, JG, and Woody, they came off the bench and provided great energy. And the bench, too, and even the crowd, y'all did a good job of feeding us into the game and just getting us going. So I would say that second group and definitely the crowd got us going and rolled up.
I agree, because going into the game, I felt as if, looking at the other team from a fan point of view, I felt that you guys have played harder teams than this. You guys could do this. So seeing you guys go down 12 early into the second and come back and fight, that's the type of Oakwood basketball that I know that the team could be if they play at their best level each and every game.
For sure.
So as a veteran leader, like you said, you guys are playing the same team next week on Thursday, just a few days. What are you telling the guys going into that matchup?
So there was a lot of talking during the game, a lot of going back and forth. So I'm telling the guys this week in practice and when we're not in practice, outside the court in practice, just to embrace physicality and the competitiveness of the next game, because they're gonna try and get their get back. They're gonna try and get their get back. So we just gotta go in that game and just get ready to fight, because it's gonna be a dogfight the whole game. So
yes, sir, yes, sir. Well, I can't wait to see what the team did, and I'm happy you guys finally got a win.
Appreciate you.
I'm ready to see you guys stack some.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for your time.
No problem.
And we're back with our NFC and AFC game championship predictions. Shane, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So Shane, tell me, who do you have going to the Super Bowl?
Well, for the NFC, this may come as a surprise to a lot of people, but I actually have the Washington Commanders coming out on top, and let me tell you why. When you look at the 07 Giants, the 2011 Giants, 2012 Ravens, all those teams have something in common, the underdog factor. And the Commanders, they have the underdog factor. And a lot of people say Cinderella stories don't happen in the NFL. Well, it's the NFL. Everybody's good enough to beat anybody. And I got the Commanders coming out on top against the Philadelphia Eagles. They're rivals, NFC East rivals, in the city of brotherly love, in a close one. Jaden Daniels, Rookie of the Year. The Commanders, they have a bright future, and they'll be playing in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. And for the AFC, I know I was talking about the Bills last year.
You gonna come over to my side of the table?
Show. I wish I could, Deliso, but they're still frauds. They're still pretenders. I'm sorry. I got the Kansas City Chiefs representing the AFC for the 3rd straight year. Mahomes, this generation's Tom Brady. He just, I don't see Josh Allen being able to beat them, especially in Arrowhead, one of the loudest environments in the NFL. So I got the Chiefs playing the Commanders in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. And I must ask, Deliso, who do you think will be representing the AFC and NFC in the Super Bowl?
Well, I got to say, I heard both of your picks. You made some great points, but I just hate them. I hate them. You went 0-3 last week with the picks, and this week it looks like you're going to go 0-2. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that.
Okay.
Because I got to tell you, Eagles versus Commanders, Eagles is taking that one home. Let's be serious. They played 2 times already this year. The Eagles won the first matchup, and they lost the second matchup. But in that second matchup, Jalen Hurts got hurt with a concussion and didn't play majority of the game. And the defense let up 36 points. That's an anomaly. This has been the best defense statistically wise in the NFL this season. This Eagle defense had a bad game that week. Jalen Hurts did not play. So that's not happening again this week. Jalen Hurts is going to be there. That defense is going to be shut down. And 2 words for you. Saquon Barkley. Wow. The Washington Commanders have no answer for Saquon Barkley. I can tell you that. They may stack the box. They may do this. Saquon Barkley is going to go get 150. Book it. He had 348 total yards and 4 touchdowns in the 2 games against the Commanders this year. The Commanders gave up the 3rd most rushing yards all season. And then they're going to stop Saquon Barkley this week?
It's the playoffs.
They didn't have the recipe the 2 times before they played him. So the 3rd time it's going to be the same result.
NFC Championship.
If things don't change, they're bound to repeat themselves. Then the Commanders didn't make any changes. Marshawn Lattimore, they made a change. He's not stopping Saquon. The Eagles are going to beat them, and they're going to go to the Super Bowl. You know what I say to that? Fly, Eagles, fly.
Get that out of here.
Fly, Eagles,
Get that
fly.
out of here,
And then look, Bills versus Chiefs, I know. Yeah, the Bills 0-4 in the 90s.
Yep.
Let's be serious. You weren't even born in the 90s. Let's be serious.
Hey, man, you too.
Josh Allen is 0-3 versus Mahomes, but let's be serious. Those 3 games they lost are not all created equal. The first game in the AFC Championship game, Bills got overpowered. Okay. Right. The second game, the great Josh Allen game, Gabe Davis game, and Mahomes go down and scores in 13 seconds, wins in OT. And then last year, we saw Tyler Bass miss a field goal that would have tied the game. So outside of that first matchup they played, the Bills have been right there each and every time. And this is the year for the Bills. That Josh Allen is improved as a passer. I told you last week, and you saw what they did, their short pass game. They ran the ball. Josh Allen spread the ball around, and that was a recipe for success. The Chiefs found that out earlier this year. When you have a short pass game and a receiver by committee, it neutralizes a great corner like Trent McDuffie because he can't pick one person to shut down because everyone on that offense is going to eat. So this is the year the Bills break through, and they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm trying to tell you, this is going to be a close game, but I got the Bills coming out on top. Don't matter if it's an Arrowhead. Bills Mafia, get ready. Get ready.
Hey, man, all I'm going to say is 4 straight in the 90s, 4 straight in the 2020s.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, thank y'all for joining us for another edition of ASN. We're glad that y'all could join us. We had a really good time, and we'll see you all next week.